Welcome to Count Mozart Bites, CountMozart.com. I am Count Mozart, your vampire host extraordinaire, and the only immortal host in the world.
I love you.
I'm going to start off with the question. Does anybody out there own cats? Why do you ask? Well, very important question here. Cats have a very important ocular system, right? They're not built completely like us. There's a lot of cultures that really elevated cats and worship them. You know, very mystical creatures. You ever have a cat just staring at something and you don't know what they're staring at, but then they stare at it, then they stare at you, then they stare at it, and then they split? Well, there's a reason for that. You see, you as a human, there's a sliver of light in the overall grand scheme of things that you can perceive or see. So there's so much around you that you cannot see. And sometimes those things are good, sometimes those things are bad. Sometimes there are entities that come into your world through different dimensions. And a lot of times that's what this cat is seeing, you know. So this has happened many times. There are technologies that have been kept from you, kept from humanity for decades, you know. And it goes back so far, so far. I mean, you still have rockets going into space that look like Roman candles. Yeah, that's not necessary anymore. But, you know, they keep that charade going. And I just want to, you know, alert you to this. So then you can dive a little deep and do a little digging and research more. You know, they call people crazy who think like this, but it's not crazy. It's a control thing. They want to keep it controlled and keep this information for themselves. You know, we're never gonna get to where we have to go unless this is done, and it has to come out. So you'll see these new governmental administrations, you know, still doing things that aren't the big picture. Because if you continue to just, you know, not focusing on those things that I'm talking about, they're not even government agencies they work. How do I say it? They work alone. They don't need to tell your president what they're doing. And they're their own thing. And that's where the trouble comes from, you know. This is where your great inventions lie. I've said it for so long on the Count Mozart show. But of course I can't really say it on YouTube. You know, they shut that right, you know. They don't really shut it down because you'll still see the video, but they suppress it. But there are energies that are sustainable in your world that you would never have to pay for electric again. You know, you would. That's, you know, it's you know, in the way it's maddening that this is all being kept from you, and it's, you know, a lot of the things that Tesla created, they took. You know, he knew what the hell was going on. You know, with energy and electricity and. So many things. But I wanted to just touch on that. And then I also wanted to discuss your politics a little bit, just to reinforce that the most educated and, you know, well-meaning people still fall for the teams, you know. They are the same teams. It's kind of like where you are, if you could see me, if you could see behind you in this room, it's of my castle, and that's a big place. But if I am to focus on like one of my nails here, I am only looking at the nail and everything else disappears. And so that's how they, you know, that's how they control you. They come up with all this bullshit, and then you focus on the bullshit and you don't see the big picture. So that's why there's the left and the right, and then you got the left doing cuckoo things, and then the right saying, well, I'm into freedom and stuff like that. And then once the right people get into the power, then they do the same shit that the left does on the power. You see what I'm saying? So like it's a never-ending circle, and it's designed to be like that. Even in religions, because of whether you're Muslim or Jewish or you're Christian, you know, you have the same. It's set up the same way. You know, and there's I'm in a mosque, or I'm in a temple, or I'm in the church, you know, and then I have an intermediary. You know, each one has one. It's the same thing, and you know, Anyway, so that's the control method, and it makes people fight, and it makes people be unbalanced and not work together, right? Work together, right? Because when you're together, nothing can defeat you. One for all for one. And that's, until we get to that place. I mean, how many billions are on the planet and all controlled? They don't want you. They want you thinking that you are powerless, really, and that you have all the power. But they want you to believe that you have no power. So what does that mean? So if you don't have the power, you're looking for people with the power. You're looking for a savior. You're looking for people who know more than you. Things like that. And so they diminish who you are and what you do. So you keep doing what you're doing, and we're not going to get anywhere, So we need to all really start pushing for them to bring out these technologies that are being kept from us, and you mainly. It doesn't really affect Count Mozart, but it does. You have to do this. And they are keeping these technologies from you. You must know this, or you feel it maybe in your soul. So I just want you to be aware of that and to wake up to that, and to maybe start knocking on doors, or teaching your young ones to knock on doors and to ask questions and to really push back, because these systems are in place to hide all that stuff. And some of those people don't even know either. You know what I mean? So you can have a new administration in your government, but they're doing the same kind of stuff. Like, okay, they're looking here and they're looking there, but until you start going over to the real problems, which is the suppression of technologies and life extension and health and energy, you're going to lose. I mean, remember I talked about the poles? I mean, that down in the South Pole, they've gone miles into the snow and the ice, and they have these systems in place, and some of them they can use as weapons, actually. Spaceships and stuff like that, like the spaceships that you see, the Tic Tacs and all that kind of shit. That's from here, we have gotten the technology from real ones that have crashed, and real beings, ETs kind of things, and that they exist too. But a lot of stuff that you're seeing is from them. Remember the drone thing? And again, that's to show who's in control. So they want to scare you, and they want to do all this kind of stuff, control you. You know what I mean? So keep a lookout for that. That was like Project Blue Beam or something like this. And, it's like, we're going to have a big alien invasion and scare the hell out of you and stuff like that. That's always been on the table. You know what I mean? So it's all that kind of stuff. But this was a quick Count Mozart bites about, different entities and different dimensions, and that they exist. They really, really do. And you have to be careful, because you can look, ayahuasca and all these they call them like hallucinogenics and stuff, but they've done studies where you got a group of people and they're taking these hallucinogenics and they're all saying the same thing. It doesn't work like that. So that's a fact. You can do that, but the problem with that is you can bring them into your space. Not good, and they're bad. Some are bad, and take a look around you. It's hard to deny what Count Mozart is telling you. But we're gonna start working on a lot more music related episodes, and we do have a good guest coming up in a week. So I want you all to come to countmozart.com for updates on that. The new show's coming up on let's see, sometime this week on Van Halen. That's a good one. And we got some other things planned. And the good news for you is, because then I say I have good news for you. The good news for you is that you will not lose. You will win if you follow your instincts. The good news is you can obtain anything you want. You can reach and obtain anything you want. You can stop the madness. You can stop the, being a slave to these sociopaths. These people are fucking sick, and you can stop it by waking up and learning who you are. Not the name that they've given you, or what you do for a living, or how much money you have, or anything like that, but your consciousness, your being. You are so powerful, and again, just letting you know. But the more we go on, the better it gets. Captain are very tired tonight because, like I said, the blood is very skimpy, and it's not so strong. But I gotta go back out and feed. So anyway, I want to thank you for coming to Cat Monster Bites. Good to see you. It's always good to see you, and I'm gonna bite you soon. So come on back, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Time is an abyss, profound as 1,000 nights. Centuries come and go. To be unable to grow old is terrible. Death is not the worst. There are things more horrible than death. Can you imagine enduring centuries, experiencing each day the same futile things?